And welcome, everybody. We are back for another CBC podcast. This week, we literally had nothing. And then in the 24-hour lead up to the podcast recording, we found topics, which is good. So everything's kind of been backloaded this week, which honestly, I don't mind. But we're definitely going to have a good show here. Hopefully, you guys are having a good week. You're getting this a couple days after the members, which you guys, if you want it early on with some other topics and videos, check out the members section. But for now, let's just go over the important stuff, which is clearly who we are. I am, as always, your host, Armin, and I am here drinking a year and a half old Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Major Melon. So if I croak on this podcast, it's probably something to do with this. Yeah, we'll blame it on that. But I am also joined by Mitch.
I can't lie. You said year and a half, and the first thing I heard for the year was urine. And I was like, that makes sense.
Honestly, it's Mountain Dew, so half of it might be urine at this point. We don't know what they put in there.
It's like, yeah, that's a...
I am like, desensitized to the normal taste of Mountain Dew. It just does nothing for me.
I haven't had Mountain Dew in years. I think I've only ever had like 3 bottles of it. And every time I can feel the teeth rotting. It's just, oh my God. This is insane. I can't even drink normal Coke because it's too like sugary. I just hate the taste of it. Mountain Dew is another level of just actual sugar.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, Linktree, as usual. I'm tired.
Yeah, we're all a little tired. All tired and suffering. Tristan, are you tired and suffering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially during this time, because for Southern California, it's that weird period of overcast because summer's about to start.
Yeah, summer's a bit ways off yet.
No, not for California.
Oh yeah, forget California just has summer.
I was gonna say California.
It goes winter, a small little thing for spring, and then right around when it gets to late April, early May, that's when summer is about to start.
I was gonna say, then like
that's
September,
pretty much the UK as well.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is here. But like we know that California also has Ghost Rider season where everyth's just on fire.
True,
so you got to dodge that,
Also known as the autumn or the fall for the Americans.
Yeah, especially for California, there's like no fall at all. It's straight on summer until like November.
How can anything fall when it's on fire?
Oh no, there's 3 days. There's still greenery. It's just that there's no like cooling down. It's just straight summer until November. Then it gets
Look,
cold.
As a foreigner that's never been in California, I can tell you that the image of California in my head is Johnny Tsunami surfing down to school. Okay, that's all I know, and that don't break this reality for me. So, but California surfs. Don't lie.
You can get my Linktree, and it's kind of interesting for some news today. But the Microsoft CEO said that they are pleased with their video games making the top 25 on PlayStation Store.
Well, also, out of every game they've released so far, every single game looks and runs better on PS5. That is some sort of weird, what is Microsoft doing? But there we go.
I also can't help but think every time I see that he's happy with the top 25, it's that meme of the guy in third. It's like, yeah, top 25. Woo. Like, guys, you're a
it's because I guess they didn't expect them to do so well for being like AA games.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like they're old and they're not that.
They're definitely some of them are shorter than others, and they wouldn't expect that people would go for that because like all the chatter is, we want AAA games. We want games that last like 200 hours. No, you don't. You just want to say that and then complain that it's 200 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something. But hey, there's more games on your Sony platform if you want. So it's something.
Sony's going to get all of them eventually. It's not like Microsoft is doing anything.
Exactly. So like, what else are they going to do?
We
So I
fall
guess
another 30% of sales next year, probably.
it could happen. It could happen. But hey, you know what's not going to fall in sales this year? Deadpool and Wolverine, because they released a new trailer. See, I segued us into that. And
Finally,
now-
a trailer.
now here's the thing, guys. Did you know that this trailer proved that Marvel bad?
Oh,
I mean, they took away the
could-
shoulder pads. Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Oh, you're talking about that. I thought I was like, wait, what? People were like saying that Marvel's back again because of the trailer.
Yes, but now they're bad because they took the. Well, I mean, people were like, all I want is him to not have the sleeves for one scene. Marvel's like, okay, here he is, no sleeves, and they're like, but they took the pads off. I don't like it. And also, where's the? It's like, you idiots.
I mean, I'm going to be the contrarian here.
Uh-huh.
I am firmly on the side of it should have kept the shoulder pads.
I don't care either way. Like,
I do. It throws the entire thing off.
It does, but you can tell,
so
like,
weird.
You can tell that they're straight up ripped off, right? Like his.
I mean,
arm
you
sleeve.
can, but
Yeah.
then we're going back to he has the sleeves because not Wolverine has skin cancer. Hugh Jackman has skin cancer, right? He can't be out in the sun too long. Then bam, here he is, sleeveless. Like you didn't have to rip it off with the shoulder pad.
I think we're gonna see it with the shoulder pads as well, and then they're gonna get.
I don't think we are. Well, I mean, we could, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I am.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look horrendous. I still like it. I feel like they're hiding the cow a bit too much.
For all we know, maybe the CG isn't even finished because we've seen that before. Like, if you go back and watch the first trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the most glaring one where so much was not finished and there's so many missing bits and pieces on everything. So,
sure. But...
Yeah, the only thing for me is that I would have wanted it to be the brown and yellow suit instead of
but you can save the brown and yellow for the main MCU one, can't you?
100%.
You could even have Jackman in it because there's no doubt going to be more than one Wolverine in this.
Obviously. Looking at this, it's for me anyway. It was pretty interesting because that it's like we were talking before. It's not a particular Wolverine. It's some other different Wolverine that let his Earth, I guess, die for some apparent reason, and that he's the one.
Because he never put on the suit for 20 years. That's why.
Now, I do want to bring this up because it's an interesting, I guess, note that I've seen. Some people are pissed. They're like, it's not the Wolverine from the X-Men films I watched. I'm like, none of the Wolverines are the ones that you've watched. Like, the original trilogy Wolverine is not the same one from Origins. It's not the same one that appears in Days of Future Past. It's not the same one from The Wolverine or Logan. They're all different because they never had a set timeline or continuity.
Well, no, it's because
it's supposed to be the same one.
That's the whole problem. They're supposed to be the same one where they tried to shove the timelines to fix them, but never could.
And they never did. So it's like, I don't care about any of that. And the big complaint, people are still pissed that they're not revealing the mask. I'm pretty sure the mask is in some of these sequences. They're just doing the trickery. Like the scene where him and Deadpool walk out onto the street, he 100%
that. Yeah.
The
That's a sleep reveal shot. Yeah.
Like it's so.
If it's
obvious.
not there, I will be very surprised in that.
If it's not there, I will make Paul eat another shoe. Okay.
Like outside of the suit discourse, the only other thing I did see some negativity towards was the Ant-Man base for with his head.
Oh, that's awesome.
People were assuming that it was Hank, and that Hank couldn't catch it.
I love how people assume that just from seeing a helmet and a skull. Like, cool.
I know that's the thing because they assume it's not Scott, that it's Hank, and that's the reason why. Marvel
Grady.
Yeah, Marvel allowed it because they hate Hank.
Well, I do also find it because remember, in Loki, there was the sequence with the Yellow Jacket helmet that was also in the Void. So it's kind of cool to know that maybe both of them battled it out, and Cassandra ended up taking the Ant-Man helmet, and that's her traveling base or whatever. There's a lot of cool stuff. Body. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like the comic, right?
There's that really wide shot of was it Alioth, the big smoke thing?
Yeah.
Name. You actually see the full length of the Ant-Man just lying there.
And also This revealed a lot more cameos than I thought they would, because obviously they're saving the big guns for the final film, like the X-Men and all that. But like showing Azazel, the Russian, Lady Deathstrike, I'm like, that's really cool. Like it's definitely pushing this whole cameo fest that they teased, you know?
It is, but then people is all, why are they wasting it? And I'm like, well, they're variants. Doesn't really
Yeah, who
matter in the grand
cares?
scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like that people picked up on was behind Cassandra's a wheelchair. And so is someone in that? You can't tell if someone's sitting in it, or is she just like taking the piss out of Charles and
Well,
Right.
they
moving
did
around
duke
on that
it out in the womb, so I assume
They
she's
did,
taking the piss.
Yeah. Yep. They sure
I can't
did.
lie. I hope they show that. Like in her setup, like please show that moment.
I hope they, for that sequence though, they de-age Patrick Stewart 80 years to look like a baby,
Yep,
and he's just in there duking it out.
There was that one, I guess, little Easter egg that they had for Liefeld. I think it was when they were
Yeah.
Yeah,
slow walking.
Liefeld's just feet or something.
Yeah,
It should have gone
And
with only feet.
and like
so close.
I should have looked it up even further, but some news reporters actually asked his input for that. I needed to go look to see the article.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
why
he
would
said-
you even ask him that?
Right. He said like he knew about it and he's the one that had to approve it. So he knew it was coming. It's like good. He's got a sense of humor at least, you know, like he knows he can't draw feet or hands or draw. So it's,
He's still a comics gator though, isn't he?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, well.
even though he said he retired from writing Deadpool anymore, he still does.
Yeah, but
appearances
Life
and
Us
stuff.
is a lot of things and doesn't know them, right?
Yeah, he's like Duff Man of the Marvel universe. Liefeld says
I
a
was
lot of
gonna
things.
say he's a matey boy who directed Suicide Squad.
Oh, Ayer.
David Ayer, that's the one. Yeah, you know, says he's done, but just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's him. So, I don't know. Like, this trailer to me was sort of like the one that we needed. If they could have
Yeah,
somehow amalgamated this one and the last one together, I get why they didn't, because each one is tailored to each individual character. But if you watch both of these trailers, this definitely seems like it's the Wolverine and Deadpool movie and not the other way around, you know? Like it kind of seems like it's
I get that. Yeah, but I suppose it's called and Wolverine, right? So
Right,
the teaser's
yeah.
Deadpool, but everyone knows, and they know you're going for Wolverine.
Mhm, exactly. Yep.
And you're going for Wolverine with Deadpool, so yeah, I'm fine with it. It's cool.
Yeah, same. Like I thought the trailer was honestly great. I thought it does a great job of leaning into teasing things and the story and leaving a lot of mystery. Unlike some other Marvel trailers in recent years, which is like, oh, you guys really Sony'd this one, didn't you? Like they just fully went into it, and this
That's
doesn't.
part of the deal. Sony's got to cut a trailer here and there.
Oh, we're just gonna take 5 seconds from every 5 minutes of the film, stitch it together in sequential order, and there's your trailer. It's like, guys, that's just the movie. Don't cut trailers like this.
And we'll put
Oh,
the ending of the trailer at the start of the trailer to let you know the trailer's about to begin.
love it, exactly. It's genius marketing.
I need to know who decided that was going to be a thing, because they need a punch in the face.
Let's just be clear. It's Rothman. It's got to be Rothman.
Probably.
Yeah. So there we go, everybody. We'll talk more about the next trailer as it drops probably in a month. But now,
Hopefully they fix the suit, because I'm going to be.
we'll see. Let's hope they also fix Red Hulk, because we have a potential look at Red Hulk, and he looks like some sort of if it's real, the cardboard standee, he almost looks like an amalgam of a Lord of the Rings troll and the Incredible Hulk.
I was going to say he looks like the original version of the animated Bilbo.
Honestly, yeah. Let's go
Like,
with
if you
that.
Google like the old Hobbit cartoon, that's making red.
Yeah.
That's just Bilbo Baggins.
It's like, I get it, because if you look at Hulk now, they obviously use Mark Ruffalo and Hulk him up, and you get some of that. Yeah, Harrison Ford is not a ripped 30-year-old guy, and Thunderbolt Ross in the comics doesn't look really like Harrison Ford. So here, it's obviously going to be different. And again, this is still we don't know if it's real, so we're just assuming it's real. It's not the Red Hulk that I want, but again, the Red Hulk can't just be the Incredible Hulk from, the Edward Norton movie painted red. That would look
Yeah.
ridiculous. So,
Yeah. I mean, I would have been fine with it if it was the case because it still looks different enough.
yeah.
And that's the main reason why it's like why he's literally not just the Hulk but red, right?
Mhm.
They need to separate them a little bit so you can tell what's going on and not just see green and red smears on your screen.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's true. Cool. I'll see it in motion. I would have liked the stash. If you don't get it, whatever. Really, at this point, if it's not and it looks better in the movie, cool. I win either way.
I'm just excited that we're gonna get Red Hulk. Like that's a character that many people don't realize is less than 20 years old. He debuted in the comics in 2006, 7 or something. Yeah. Because the mystery of the Incredible or who's the Red Hulk played out after Civil War. So he's
wow,
so
2008.
Recent.
God damn.
Yeah, it's crazy that character's barely 15 years old, right? And we're getting them in film form, so there's not a whole lot to play off of, so you can really do different versions and take an interesting new twist on them. So
that's crazy.
For me, it's just weird because this whole thing, especially with the Red Hulk, is that like the first one anyway, he never had a mustache. It was the second one,
right?
And in here that they're trying, technically, people want or associate the mustache with the first one, but it wasn't the first one; it was the second one. So I'm up in the air that I guess they're just wanting to just stick with the first one, even though I thought at first that with my memory, and it's like, didn't he always have a mustache? No, that was the second one because a lot of people don't know that.
That's just the sign of a great design.
What the mustache made
if you forget that there was an original and it wasn't always there and it has created this Mandela effect,
I mean,
that is the sign of you've done your job right.
It's obvious what they're doing, right? Because he's going to be back for Secret Wars or Avengers 5, whatever it's called, and he's going to have a mustache so they can just so they can literally add a little piece of plastic onto the toy and the hot toy and resell it for $300. That's what they're going to do. Yeah. They literally do it with every single product. They're like, "Hey,
actually, no. Let's be honest here. Hot Toys don't make Hulk figures.
Yeah,
you've had 2,
and yeah.
You've had 3. You've had one for the first 2 Avengers, and then Ragnarok. She-Hulk's nowhere.
I'm still waiting for my She-Hulk,
Infinity War, and actually they had the Endgame Hulk as well.
Don't forget, people. There's also Red She-Hulk.
Yeah.
There is Red She-Hulk. Yeah,
I like Red
this movie.
It's been rumored, but we don't know. So
she's probably cut then.
I mean, probably in those reshoots, right? They cut the character.
Yeah.
What would be the point of keeping her? I'm again, I like the character, so I'm not saying, oh, don't put the woman Hulk in there. But if you keep her,
it'll be weird, right? Like, hey, these 2 are back and just happen to be Red Hulks.
Exactly. And also you run into the issue of, well, hold up. Again, now we are just yet again a Hulk movie with Sam Wilson. I don't. Yeah. So,
I mean, it's technically easier. You don't have to have a movie with Hulk as the protagonist. You have it with Captain America, and it's just a whole bunch of Hulks around him.
And Sam will be physically fine because he's covered in vibranium.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this. I mean, I'm excited for Red Hulk regardless because there's been so many leaks now that there's no way that they end up cutting him out of anything, right? Like he's in this thing.
Oh, when he's Harrison Ford, right? Of course he's going to be.
Exactly. So, yeah.
You don't recast Thunderbolt Ross with him and then just come out the movie. But
yeah. So, again,
I just really hope that the whole reason he looks like this is because he's old.
That's exactly what I'm getting.
This is a look of what Ruffalo's going to look like when he's old in the Hulk.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, that makes sense. As you get older, your ability to put on muscle and stay fit deteriorates. So Thunderbolt Ross being in like his 70s or whatever, I mean, yeah, he can't be.
It's just the way to tell if a Hulk's white, right? Because white people, we don't age well.
Well, no, it's weird because it technically only happens with the Red Hulk. With regular Hulk, it's a little different. Where the only thing that happens is that he gets gray hairs, but other than that, he's still fit.
Well, I mean, he's eating a lot of protein. What do you want? Like, he's probably drinking.
I mean, you say the only thing that happens is he gets gray hair. He kind of goes like extremely right wing as well. He kind of
depending on the universe, yes.
Yeah.
The lead paint as a child kicks in the Hulk brain and kind of become a little bit dictatory.
Make Thunderbolts great again. Red Hulk wearing his red hat with that mustache, pulling up in a pickup truck.
That's why there's an asterisk, because they haven't got the slogan on it.
He's got a sticker that says "Drop the A-bombs," and it's just Atom Bomb in blue.
Oh no.
Oh man, Hulk!
I just hope this leads to the US kaiju from the US Avengers run.
Man!
Give me a giant Godzilla with the American flag on its
I can't. I would. Yes. I mean, technically, aren't they leaning into the whole kaiju thing? In the one Jaeger episode, they got a What If coming where they look like Gundam, Jaegers, Transformers, like an amalgam of everything in all those robots. So
there's What If coming.
Yeah, believe it or not, yes, there's more What If coming.
Didn't we just have What If?
Yes,
there's more coming, and like one of the episodes was like their attempt at trying to advertise those figurines that have them in giant mecha suits.
Oh, those are so bad. They're so bad.
Oh, wasn't that the Jim Zub?
No, he wrote the comic version of it. I think it was like a mini of like 4 or 5 issues where
waste of Jim Zub.
Yeah, for some reason they're in like mecha suits.
It's a travesty. Jim Zub was never on a main Avengers run.
Oh no, yeah.
He's only ever done miniseries.
They gave him Champions, but they didn't.
Oh yeah, wow.
They gave him Champions.
Remember
that was messed up because they kept rebooting it and it never like got any traction, even though Zub's run was actually kind of good.
Someone at Marvel has a vendetta against Zub, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, they do.
And maybe Zub slept with the wife or partner. I don't know, but Zub don't deserve
because like even he said that like he didn't get a good chance because they kept renumbering the series back to #1, and they saw the drop off where people just didn't care anymore because they kept reissuing #1 instead.
Well, yeah, because every 3 months it's like new #1. It's like how many more? Just you pump more out.
#1s.
Yeah.
That really felt like the villain plot for Incredibles.
Oh,
when everyone's super, no one is. If everything's a #1, then nothing is.
It's true. That's very true. Very true. So, that's it, everybody. We'll be back to talk more about everything we got at hand with Hulk. But for now, let's jump on to something else very important to the Marvel Universe, and that's Blade. Except it's not the Blade that's in development. It's the return of Wesley Snipes as Blade. Apparently it's happening.
Yeah.
Boy, are we it's going to be crazy to see Wesley Snipes return, especially that continuity and those films were so unique to that time period, right? Like you go back and watch them, it's like, especially Blade 3, that's the one that has not aged well at all because various things in it. And
I mean, Blade 3 wasn't aged well when it came out.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. So, how do we feel about, first and foremost, Wesley Snipes returning?
I mean, I'm fine with it. It makes sense. Why would you not bring him back?
I wanted him fine, but on the other hand, I was like, you keep him gone with how difficult he is.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
Hey,
he's
they can rein him in. No.
I was gonna say maybe he mellowed out with his prison stint.
No, watch
so-
what they do. They're gonna have to CG a whole entire head because he wanted to wear a bucket.
See what they've done. They've made him happy, right? They've given him like the money offer, but they've taken the taxes off of it. So they're going to pay his taxes for him. So he's going to be happy thinking he's not paying taxes.
This makes sense. Which why he's back. Got to take care of that.
And they're also like, hey, look, here's the CGIs you've been working on for the last 20 years. You can literally sleepwalk through this thing. We don't care.
You're the day walker and the sleepwalker. It's the easiest job you'll ever get.
See, that's got to be the gag, right? He comes out of a portal or wherever on Battle World with the glasses, takes them off, and it's just like wonky CGIs. And they just play it straight. Like, this is just what this blade looks like.
Yeah, it's also like about this whole idea of bringing his blade back, right? It's a known fact that Kevin Feige was always a fan of those films. He really tried to get Blade back to kick off the MCU, but everything fell apart and Blade 3 into rights and everything. So it's taken them long to get their Blade reboot out, but at least they can acknowledge the old universe. And since they're bringing everything into the multiverse and everything, is accounted for and counts for something, it's cool that you can do that because eventually we're going to have a reference, right? It's going to be like Wesley Snipes' Blade is going to recognize that Wade Wilson just so happens to look like Hannibal King, who was played by Ryan Reynolds, right? Like there's a nice little connection there. So, man, I can't believe I remember he played Hannibal King. Why is my brain like this?
See, when I brought up Blade 3, I was going to say, like, he gave us Reynolds as Deadpool. Yeah. And I knew that wasn't right. I was like, I can't remember his name. I just know he was there. I know that movie is the reason why he got Deadpool for Origins.
We need them to also bring back Triple H to make out with the poodle or whatever again. Just bring that into the MCU.
There are some things we just don't need.
We need it. It's going to happen. Yeah.
What we need is someone to come out in that Daredevil and Black Widow show that never happened.
Yeah.
Like the Andy Warhol one, like come out in those suits.
Man. Could you imagine? That's what they need though. Like what? And also when they bring this character back, establish that he existed in one of those other universes. Just be like, oh, hey, Peter. And it's like, he's talking to Tobey Maguire. It's like, oh,
I was gonna say he's got to be in the Maguire one, right?
Yeah,
it makes more sense.
Have fun with it. Like, I have no doubt we're also gonna find out that the Doctor Strange variant from that universe is like, I don't know. Anybody could.
They were always cameos in the Rain movies. I can't remember his name.
Exactly. What's his name? Ash Williams from the. Oh my God, how am I blanking out on his name?
I can't remember his name.
Yep, Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
That's
there we go.
Just have Bruce Campbell be
exactly
Strange,
have fun.
It hasn't even got to be the actual Raimi ones. It's just a version of the Raimi ones where everything was together. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now whack the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, sorted.
Yeah. I'm excited by this. Like it's cameo. Who cares? They can work it in there. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It's acknowledges the old Marvel universe, and Blade 1 single-handedly was the thing that gave Marvel hope of survival right before they were ready to literally throw in the towel. So
I thought that was the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Yes. Yep.
What a time that was. Crazy.
Right? It's wild times that Marvel almost went out of business. And now here they are.
Look at it like nearly 30 years later, and who the hell will believe that? No.
Right? Yeah. It's crazy. Now here's what I really want to know. Along with this, did they bring back the actor who played Blade in the TV series on Spike TV?
Oh, I would, yeah. As long as they're not, committing a genocide or anything, then
yeah. Because that series at the end, because of course I watched it, I just love that they tease. He's like, I'm gonna go get my buddy Mark Spector, to set up season 2, and then the series obviously
Oh,
was
God,
canceled.
yeah.
Yep, it's yeah.
I mean, hey, bring him and make a random Moon Knight looking suit that would fit in that world as well. Why not?
True. Like, have fun with it. It's
Just
Secret
pick up
Wars.
literally every loose end and Easter egg and just chuck it as Secret Wars.
Here's what I'm saying. Secret Wars needs to be like a 4.5-hour film with an intermission at this point. This thing's got to be the ultimate. Just here you go.
I mean, it'll be 3 hours, and most of the stuff is gonna just gonna be like Endgame. It's all in the background. It's
Yeah.
gonna be there. So
Like
you
when
can
Howard the Duck
point
shows
them
up,
at the
it's
screen.
like, oh, Howard just came out of the portal.
Oh, I have no idea how that movie is actually gonna work, but I'm
Same.
here for it.
Same. So we'll talk more about Blade when we hear more. Obviously, there's going to be plenty more coming, so stay tuned for Wesley Snipes' return, which I never thought I'd say, but there we go.
His
There
tax
we
returns or his actual return?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
But hey, you know who else is returning to Marvel Studios? Scarlett Johansson. Yep. She's
Yep. She never left.
So, well, there was that fallout with Bob JPEG, and that was settled when Bob Iger took over, or Bob Igor, as we're gonna call him henceforth.
True. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about.
So she's back, and according to reports, she is working on a Disney Plus Marvel Studios series. We don't have any other details on what it could be. I'm gonna take a stab at Young Avengers, Champions. Maybe.
I was just going to assume a Black Widow series.
See, I feel like that's almost too safe, you know?
It is safe, but isn't. Oh, I swear it was a director of the Black Widow movie. He's working on it or something.
I was just making an assumption that it was just going to be like something associated with the Red Room.
Yeah, Red Room series would be really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be
have like a young Nat or something go through it.
Imagine that, boy. That's a lot of head-turning moments if they were to do that, you know? It's like, whoa, can we go there? It's like, I guess so. It's because you get it, you know.
They already went there in the movie.
I was gonna say in the movie we go there now. Imagine just making a further story about the brainwashing, and I mean, it could be good. It definitely, the budget would be exactly what you need because it wouldn't require a lot of CG and stuff. So Black Widow would make sense to me.
Also, just reuse CG from the movie. No,
I mean, yeah, you got the whole facility that they were training them in the sky. So it's like, well, there you go. Like you already got that done. So, a part of me hopes it's going back to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. route, that they're going to have something a little bit more serialized and episodic.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I miss that style of series when they used to exist, right? Like something episodic we could talk about that was a little bit more long form and overarching. Because 6 episodes,
yeah, but
to me
it's so long. Like 20 episodes is so long.
Yeah,
there's no. I know people after like 2 years of streaming were like, "Oh, it should be 20 episodes." Like, no, nothing needs to be 20 episodes.
I like the 12 episode. That's like 10 to 12 to me is perfect. Honestly, that's what I'm kind of into. So
I'm still on the 8 train.
Yeah,
8 is like the perfect.
Is that because if you watch Daredevil, you can cut out 4 episodes and it's perfect?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, for me, that's like 2 seasons worth of show over here.
Oh, and also 8 episodes is like 7 series worth of Sherlock, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of how long Luther was. Was it like 4 episodes a season or something like that? 3 or 4?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Idris Elba played Lex Luthor and nobody talks about it.
Yeah, that's what he played. Yeah,
it's true.
Totally.
It's true. That's my headcanon because I'm a fanboy. Yeah, it's the multiverse. See,
and Sherlock's a prequel to Doctor Strange. Who knew?
It is.
Yeah.
It's all true. It's all connected. # Jeff Loeb. Oh, that's
Jeff Loeb. I had no part to play in either of these things.
It's true. It's true. So, okay, I want to bring this up. If Scarlett Johansson is producing this and going to possibly direct, because we know she's been saying she wants to direct, right? Do you think that she also plays a role in it?
No, I think she's done.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It'll be cool if she did. Like you see her suit up again for a little bit, but then it's like Iron Man, right? Just let the characters done. You told the epilogue and everything. Like just let that character lie.
Yeah. See, like,
but it's Marvel, it's Disney. I know they're not opposed to defiling a corpse.
oh yeah. Oh my God. Kevin Feige, Mr. Krabs style above a grave. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a real image. That happened. So, like, my hopes are that whatever this series is that it can be different. That's what I want. Like I don't want the same thing I've seen somewhere else. God knows I never want Secret Invasion again, ever.
I was just thinking, what if, right? We completely ignore Secret Invasion and we have Scarlet produce a Secret Invasion TV show. Let's do that. Yeah.
Somehow Gaia returned.
No, because she produced the Black Widow movie, so that was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I love the Black Widow movie. Anytime I show anybody my top 10 MCU films, they're like, "What's that doing at number 8?" And I'm like, "Oh, now I got to explain this. Here we go. Here we go. Let me prep the essay I have in my head."
Actually, I don't even know where I put that movie. It's been so long since I looked at Letterboxd or that list even.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that high, but
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Also, what if they deal with some of the elements of what was his name? Who was supposed to play Taskmaster, but then they didn't make him Taskmaster.
Oh, it's the guy who's like a contact. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's from that TV show.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, but anyways, I would like more explaining of what he does. Like what is his gimmick?
Maybe that's the show. It's just how he connects to Black Widow.
How he supplies things in various places. Yeah. Like you could tie that into the whole, hey, the Dora Milaje is out there getting vibranium and he can kind of connect the dots and be like a supplier of and dealer of things. Like there's interesting characters in the Marvel universe that don't need to be Avengers or that expensive to make a TV series. So I hope whatever she's working on, it's something like that. It's a different angle into the Marvel universe that's unique and different. Like, I've talked crap about Agatha and that series, but every time I talk,
is going to be the one show that brings Disney Plus to the WandaVision days again.
I've literally been saying I love that whole genre and the occult and witchcraft. I know, like, even though I take jabs and talk craps about it, I'm so hyped for that series. People don't understand.
It's gonna be so good. No,
it's gonna. I'm so into that. Yeah, I want something.
I imagine the ice bucket challenge when you're asleep. That's just, if you remember that far back, or if you were alive when that thing came out.
Yeah,
it's gonna hit you like that.
It's
people are gonna love it.
So I just hope whatever Scarlet signed on for, give us something like that. Something a little different.
And it was OT. I'm not even going to attempt that second name because I have no idea how you pronounce the second name.
Yep, that's OT. His. Yeah, do something with him or something. Bring in a couple characters from the other Marvel TV shows. Bring back.
What is the Taskmaster series?
Oh, I'll take it because I like that Taskmaster. I really like her.
It sets up Taskmaster between the end of Black Widow and Thunderbolts.
Oh, that would be nice. Dealing with like
time for that.
Yeah, because you could deal then with the whole she's not brainwashed anymore and she's doing her own trying to find herself. And honestly, give us
each
that.
Episode she's learning like a new martial art and not relying on the computer chip to download everything.
I was gonna say, it turns out she actually has that ability and she can now further. Yeah, like that would be great. Make her more like the Taskmaster from the comic. Yeah, that's cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
definitely. And you know what they can do? Bring back the guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who everybody thought was going to be Taskmaster.
Oh.
What was it? He played Agent Ward. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was like Brett Delton or something.
Oh, yeah. Delton Brett. Yeah. He was the one who did, what's that game called? Until Dawn?
Until Dawn. Yes.
Yeah.
Bring him back and play into that. Being like, actually, there's a chance he could have been Taskmaster because he was going to be. But then Marvel Studios eventually got Taskmaster, so
You mean Marvel TV and studios were fighting over characters?
Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I know.
Totally unheard of. Unprecedented news.
It's true. Now, I did add one final topic here that I want to talk about, which was...
Oh, you actually added the 5th one.
I did. I found it, and it dropped literally before we started this podcast. I was like, this is perfect, and it relates to Deadpool and Wolverine. And this has automatically started an argument from what I saw everybody sharing it, which is good.
Are we back to the shoulder pads?
No, we are not. So, Sean Levy, the director of the film, said, you will need no prior knowledge of either Deadpool film or anything in the MCU to understand Deadpool 3. And people on both sides are now up in arms, being like, how? That's not possible. Or this is great. And now people are like, so it's not canon, it's decanonizing things. People are so dumb. They're so dumb.
So dumb. Obvious PR marketing speak is PR marketing speak. Hey, we don't, we know the idea of having to watch 20 years worth of movies from 2 different studios is a lot for one movie. But you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, you are going to be lost and there are going to be confusing things. We don't have to do that.
Right.
Like, no, Square Enix said the exact same thing about Rebirth to remake just 5 months ago. And everyone went, that's a lie.
They said the same thing for multiple MCU projects so far, including Spider-Man No Way Home. And they said it for TV shows. They're going to keep saying it because the moment, remember, people used to want being like, make Daredevil important, do it. And now they've added in continuity. And now there's the same people arguing, being like, well, I don't want to watch 9 seasons of Netflix shows or 12 or whatever to understand who this Daredevil is. It's like, well,
so then fine, then you don't have to.
Exactly. Like it's all right.
It's that SpongeBob meme where it's like that kid and the dad in the car and saying, well, why did you ask for it?
Yup. 100%.
Yeah, it's like comics, right? You don't have to read from the 1960s to now to understand the thing. You just pick up and you go. You want to go back and read it? Cool. Go back and read stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
It's the thing that kind of like gets me about this is people so desperately for so long wanted everything to matter. Like Tony Stark has to walk out and mention episode 13 of season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or we hate this movie, right? And now it's like everything matters and they want it all. It's like, look, the X-Men continuity is garbage. Those films' continuities is so bad, it doesn't matter. The MCU has a deep lore continuity. Of course, when you're watching that film, they're going to give you the basic understanding when they break down to Wade what the TVA is. But if you watched Loki, those moments and the dialogue and some agents you're going to see, which are in the film, which were also in the Loki series, it's just going to enrich him when like an agent walks by and they mention, oh yeah, we're still searching for him. We're going to go over here. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. Or imagine somebody.
Remember how Multiverse of Madness handled the WandaVision connection? No, the entire setup for that movie?
Exactly.
It was less than 5 minutes.
Exactly. Like you're going to have a character that just walks in and goes, hey, are we taking care of the incursion in Earth 838? And be like, oh yeah, we got somebody on it. To us mega nerds, we know that they're talking about the Multiverse of Madness universe. You don't need to because it's not important. Like there's going to be things like that. Like that's what he's saying. He's not outright saying, if you've never seen anything, we explain everything. It's like, it's not that, like
no
people are,
for some reason, the younger nerds, the Gen Z nerds, so nerds with the Z for a 90s reference, if you remember, I miss nerds so much. Like they become so jaded and also, how do I put it? They still want that need for everything, but then they get it, and it's just a contradictory every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing would ever please them at this point, and I think it's because they grew up with it.
Yeah,
it's like nerds are also the only ones that think you have to know every single detail about something that appears on screen to actually get it and understand. Like you don't.
It's to me, it's like again, like so, especially with it's kind of like with animes where they make fun of like high end fans or nerds, where they want things to be exactly how they were, but not really, because they want their fan ideas to actually be what actually happens, so they can say that, yeah, I knew it. So it's that wanting,
which is wild to me, because you're spoiling it for yourself by having that by calling it out and saying it out loud. Like,
but no, it's that weird satisfaction.
Not like you're spoiling it for yourself. So like, why would you hope you're right? Like, you hope you're wrong. So
it's that weird. It's that weird thing is where like you are such a fan of a series that you want to be right, so you can, have a sense of authority in your circle and have that rush.
Clout chasing is what.
The clout high. They want that because then they have a higher sense of authority, because they know that franchise in and out, for better or for worse, which can get quite toxic if I want it this way and it better be this way, or else it's trash to like a certain fan base where a certain someone didn't want like hardware nuts and bolts and stuff in their franchise because it doesn't work. So yeah,
people are think we were talking about them, but I remember Star Wars Theory.
Yeah, that's exactly who.
The bricks and the screwdriver. Like, I forgot that.
What I'm saying
people are
is
wild like that.
What I'm saying is, if I look at the TVA and one screw is off, and it doesn't look like the TVA in episode 2 of Loki season 2, I am going to make a 28-minute video explaining how Kevin Feige's a hack.
I mean, obviously it's already to that point where like Daredevil and Wolverine don't look like the TVA from the MCU that we've already been had time with. In certain areas, with certain things aren't the same, because I can see that there's certain differences from one version to.
There's literally minor changes on their suits. It's superficial at best.
Oh, so they changed like they did between season 1 and season 2. They changed the suits slightly.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and then people were complaining about it, saying they don't look exactly like them. Are they different, or what's going on?
It's like, how about this? How about this? Let me explain this to you. The people that come after Wade are specifically designed to find the specials in one universe. There you go. They're a special task force assigned only to that, and that's why they look different. But people will get so upset and overworked about these things that you can rationally just assume, right? It's like, wait, this guy that goes after Wade in his division, we never saw him in Loki, right? Because he wasn't important to the Kang story, but he's important to this other factor, right? It's people.
Yeah,
people today.
It's almost like this organization is slightly bigger than what we've seen as well.
Yeah, it's we're at the point where media literacy is dead, and people. I've seen people. A friend of mine posted. He watched a 53-minute explained video on a episode of a TV series that's 18 minutes. I'm like,
so X-Men 97.
Yes, I was like, why do you need this? You watch the episode. The episode explains it. These guys take 3 times longer. And he's like, but I didn't know. I'm like, but we talked about it the next day. You literally knew. Media literacy is that people are just dumb. I don't get it. Connect the dots,
Like, is this like before he watched the episode? Because if it's after he watched the episode, I can understand it. But if it's like, oh no, I just want to watch.
I mean, is there any reason to ever watch a video that's 3 times the length?
It depends. It depends if there's actual information from the production side. Yeah, but
there isn't.
I'd also like to point out it's a cartoon. It's not that deep.
I mean, like if it's
not that deep.
If it's just them stopping every couple seconds to talk about the Easter eggs, no, that didn't need to be that long.
Right. It's crazy. Whatever happens with Deadpool and Wolverine and the MCU knowledge that it needs and might not need, here's the thing. Who cares? That's what I want to say. Who cares at this point? It's fine. It'll be fine. things are going to go that way, and that's how it's going to go, and we'll all understand it, just like we all understood Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
Even people that have never seen the old films understood it, so it's good. They can take care of it.
It's also a movie about Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, who actually cares?
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, no.
I guess now we're kind of at the end of the show. We've filled out 5 topics, and this has actually been over a 50-minute show, which is good. You guys got your free money's worth of listening to us, so there you go.
We are so back, as the kids say.
Oh, yes.
It's no longer Jova.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Using
like how buttons.
Oh, man.
I wish the people in that crowd are smart enough to actually pick up on it and go, like, as they're chanting 4 more years, say pause as well. It would have been fantastic. Like, the perfect moment was right there. We were so close.
So, man, you know what? At least I get to see Wolverine on screen in the suit before the end of the world this November, or at least the end of the United States. I'm gonna go rent out a bunker so I can live the Fallout life once the bombs drop. That'd be great.
I would go rent one out, but we only have like 230 odd for like 60 million people, and they can only hold like 200 people. But we ain't. We're not well equipped.
Start digging a hole into the ground.
I'll be honest, I'm at the point where if it's going to happen, just make it quick.
Just set the light off and let it consume me quick.
Like, if you're going to do it, can I be first and just make it
Yeah.
quick? That's all I ask.
Man. What else?
Also, let me read the script for how the 7 remake trilogy is going to end before it happens. I will haunt a bitch if I go before then.
Yeah. Man. Things are gonna go this year. We'll talk about it later this year when things happen, because we'll have
absolutely nothing will happen. It will all be relatively trash, and we'll just.
But luckily, we'll have things to talk about, because right before the election, we got Joker Flux Deluxe and Venom: The Last Dance. So, woo!
Really?
Woo!
Yeah.
Well,
I love how they moved Venom because they're worried about the elections.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. It's like, yeah, got to do it. Oh, okay.
It's like, wow, you really do treat the elections as some sort of big televised theatrical event.
Here it is. Bro, advertisers pay so much for commercials. It's insane.
It's weird is that they make it feel like there's this big thing, but most people that are not hooked on to the propaganda TV channels, they don't really care.
So every TV channel in the state.
No, it's like for here we have like 24/7. So there's a couple. So if you're hooked on that, that's all you're ever gonna watch. That's all it's ever gonna be on. Because trust me, I've been to a couple family members' houses, and that's all they watch. Is that channel.
Yeah,
we had it. Murdoch and people like Piers Morgan tried to do a propaganda channel, because apparently our news isn't right wing enough, which is crazy of an idea to think about, especially now. But that didn't last. They lost like £70,000 in like a year or whatever it was.
Oh,
so now Piers Morgan's just stuck on YouTube.
Yeah, he is. And TikTok occasionally pops up, so I have to dislike his videos. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think I've only liked one Piers Morgan TikTok, and that's when that Egyptian comedian just rammed him into the ground. So I like that one. Just this one singular one.
Yeah,
And had to tell TikTok I'm not interested in anything else.
Well, everybody, you can be interested or not. We don't know. We'll see how much news drops this November, because if it's like the last election, expect it to be dead, because nobody wants to drop any news around that time. So,
yeah.
And then we'll be back for possibly the mutants storm the Capitol again in a repeat of the Exsurrection. See,
so what you're saying is the muties are the bad guys
in this case, because some of them are from Alabama. Yes.
So this is equating them to obese gun lovers. Okay.
Oh man.
I mean, there is a blob.
Oh!
There's
See?
also one that makes weapons. So,
Yeah.
Guys, you were asking
and
one
then there's Charles
political.
Xavier. His whole thing is I have a school for teaching weapons.
It's true. Magneto was right. Everybody, Magneto was right. So until next time, be kind to your fellow humans, mutants, and whatever else.
And forget mutants; they suck.
Inhumans better. Inhuman superiority. Later, everybody.